it's never explained anything about it.
All it says is that in a voiceover, it says those in white space are cleansed of impurities and something else. I guess I stopped typing at that point.
But it's I mean,
it was a bunch of other stuff it said. I just stopped.
Oh, that's great, Jad. Thank you.
I can't help thinking, somewhere in the universe, there has to be something better than man. Has to be. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ascension to Ten.
All right. Here we are, back for another one.
We're back.
Yeah.
Specials are done. Back for another round of, I guess, just the regulars.
Oh, I hope these last two aren't going to be the regular.
Back to just the regular
I went
junk.
on a limb. This week I went on a limb and I don't get paid off. Jeez. Oh, brother.
What went into the decision for this movie?
I just saw it, and I saw that one of the actors was the co-star in Mindhunters from Netflix series. I was like, oh, that guy, I like that guy. Bill Tesh in the series. And then I saw the creature, and I was like, oh, like that looks like a Tremor in space.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I was like, maybe it's worth checking out. And I don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know. Hey, but
what?
Yeah. I was say before we get into it, I was reminded of there was an ad or something for inflatable chairs or something on like one of the kids' channels, and it reminded me. Do you remember the inflatable couch I had at my house?
Yeah, we would launch each other by.
Yeah, were you there when we were playing Medal of Honor and I was jumping and launching people and I missed the couch?
And you broke your ass.
And I broke my ass.
Yeah, I think so. It was.
Oh man!
I mean, couch is a generous term for that thing, right? Because it was. I don't know, maybe 3 feet wide or something. It was.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just kind of a big chair, but
on it. For kids, I guess. But
yeah,
we were getting too big for it.
Yeah, because you let it deflate a little bit, right? So that you could kind of collapse it, and then you could.
Yeah,
someone would
one side you could.
Yeah.
It was like a blob, like on a lake.
Yeah.
So one of us would sit on one end and do it, and I just remember I really got as high as I could to launch, and I completely missed the couch and just slammed my ass on the ground.
My ass.
And the other part is like, I was like, my ass. But Medal of Honor, like I think it was the first thing, because it was I think it was PlayStation that we were playing on, or maybe PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
But there's a part where like you hear these like high pitched voices singing, and I just remember one of the extra cuts.
The kid,
was
right?
This you go and shows it, and it's like this like 11-year-old kid who is just singing a full on soprano,
highest
just killing
possible
it.
note.
The highest possible note. And I
this note
that was part of that story.
This note is at the interface of human hearing perception, right? It's it hasn't crossed that threshold yet, so it's still audible to the human ear. The next highest pitch would be the inaudible dog whistle. Yeah.
Right.
And then
it was so high.
Yeah.
I gotta find that video. I'm sure it's out on YouTube or something.
Oh, for sure.
It was because when you listen to it, I don't know, you just don't expect that it's going to be this little kid
Yeah.
just belting it out, and you're just like,
Yep.
what the heck? And that was awesome. So, yeah,
My
I was
ass.
my ass, my ass. Yep. Classic.
Well, I have a story to kind
Yeah.
of start things off. However, it does pertain to the movie. So maybe we jump into the movie first, and it will make more sense about my story here. So do you want to remind the audience what the junk we're listening to or reviewing?
The movie we're talking about today is Beyond White Space. It was made from 2018, and it is on Amazon Prime. You can watch it right now if you have Prime. But I wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't suggest that. Might be spoiling our scores here, but we'll save you the... Yeah.
Let's see. So really this movie is initially was supposed to be like a space Moby Dick. That was the inspiration for this. So
I can see that. I can easily see that. Pretty stupid, but I can see that.
Yeah. Jad, do you want to guess what the budget was for this movie?
I mean, I don't know. $500,000 or something.
Million.
Really?
It was $1 million. Yeah.
Well,
and let me okay. So we watched Starship Troopers 2 was the last one we recorded or re-reviewed.
Yeah.
And so I have breakdowns of how many casts they had and how many people were on the crew for different movies.
Okay.
So Starship Troopers 2 had 26 cast members, so people in the film being shot on screen, and then 220 crew members. When I was like, well, that's a lot.
Okay.
And then Battlefield Earth had 36 cast members and 482 crew members. If you remember, that was about 100 or 70 million or discrepancy on that one. And then Bright had 101 cast and 932 crew. So that was $100 million budget.
Wow.
For this film, 18 people are in the cast and only 97 people on the crew. Less than half of what Starship Troopers has.
Yikes.
So the
does that include digital production and stuff too?
Yes, okay. It does. There was that segues perfectly into one of the things about this show. They heavily relied on AI when it came to rendering some of this stuff because the crew was so small that they had to kind of rely on it. So they had to they actually re-engineered some cryptocurrency miners, and they built custom rendering machines, and they called them Beefbox to help them increase their rendering power. So
wow.
It was just, and they said it took about 2,700 CPU cores to help them render this. And so I was like, wow, I mean, credit to them for, utilizing it. But the whole point of it is that this is another guy that was a VFX person who decided he really wanted to make a film. The only way he was going to be able to make it is with no money. And he was going to have to do, joint parts. So
wow.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, the visuals aren't too bad.
I agree.
The plot and anything else with this movie is trash.
Yep.
This was just a off the shelf, like spaceship hunting, mining crew. Movie. It was just.
It makes me wonder why didn't they just make this kind of an animated movie or something?
I don't know.
That's more within the wheelhouse. And
Yeah, and the other thing for him is um he shot it all on film, which adds an extra element of
Right.
difficulty, because you have to bring it over to digital and all that.
Yikes.
But that got me into thinking about like who shoots on film still
Yeah.
in Hollywood. And there are there's still a lot of big hitters. So it's like Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, Wes Anderson, Judd Apatow, Zack Snyder, just the big guys. Like recent movies that were still shot on film: Fast and Furious 9, Old by M. Night Shyamalan, the new Space Jam, West Side Story, Quiet Place 2. So I didn't
Interesting.
realize. I knew that some people still use film, but I didn't realize it was the big ones. And the reasoning behind it is people still feel that it still has a higher dynamic range, so it captures whites and blacks better.
Yeah.
And it just can't be replicated by digital cameras. So
I think film can be upscaled to whatever too, right? So
yeah,
it's well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was and this film was also shot in 18 days. They had 18 days to do all the shots. They had 2 cameras, and they had to go through 65 setups each day to get this thing to work. So
why go through all this effort?
It feels like the last half hour of this movie, it felt like it just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like it kind of wasn't too bad. Like it was ho-hum through like the first 45 minutes. And then it just like the ending it just sucks. It's so
it just
bad.
ended. That's the thing. It was just over.
Yeah, there was no one got resolution on anything.
Yeah, maybe they ran out of film. They couldn't.
Yeah,
they had to budget the rest of their film, and they just said, "Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out."
Yeah,
or not. I mean, I don't think they figured anything out there.
I don't know. The director Ken Loxmandi, he's the one. He initially came to him as it was untitled Moby Dick in space kind of film that was written by 2 people, and he decided to add the Chinese mythology elements into it, so the Year of the Dragon and all that other stuff. So I don't know if it helped or hurt the film or not.
I don't think it added a single thing to the movie.
I don't even. I mean, the only thing that I really got from it was Americans saying the name wrong.
Yeah, I guess
Tianlong instead of Tenlong.
Yeah. Wow. And I've already didn't even remember any of that either. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. There you go. Okay. I'll read the synopsis, and then we can kind of pick a few things apart.
All right.
And then we can get on with our lives.
Should we even bother? This movie sucked. Yeah. Don't watch it.
It really did. All right.
Go for it.
In a space version of Moby Dick, Beyond White Space follows a crew of space fishing vessel, the Essex, as they travel through the far reaches of space. Unbeknownst to the crew, Captain Bentley is on a personal mission to hurt the beast that killed his father while disguising the mission as a big payday. The crew and Captain Bentley navigate uncharted space and space pirates as they hunt down the celestial guardian space dragon, Tianlong.
Wait, did you just say it wrong?
Tianlong.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember.
It's spelled Tianlung.
Well, I couldn't remember what you just said about how the Americans said it wrong.
Tenlong.
Tenlong. They say Tenlong. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, before the movie starts, you know how they do the production cards?
Mm-hmm.
So I found it interesting. So this is within 1 second of the movie starting, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The first production company that is credited, Spoke Lane, has a kind of a diagram of a bicycle moving. Yep. And what I found interesting was that it looked cool, and the animation of it, I think it was pedaling.
I made a note on that too. Yeah,
it was cool. The title of that company is called Spoke Lane. The orientation of the crankshaft and the chain was just wrong. It goes from the crankshaft is on the chain on the crank is on the right side where it normally is, but then
Yeah.
it goes to the left side. It crosses the frame of the bike, and this thing is called Spoke Lane. Couldn't animate it right. So within
Oh,
1
off to
second
a
of
good
this
start.
movie, I was
Are
thinking,
you
all
fucking
right,
kidding me?
all right, okay.
Oh.
And then there's this dumb, like, I don't know, it says year 2132, Year of the Dragon thing.
Yep.
Spenny, did you know that you and I are Year of the Dragon?
You're the drag. Hell yeah.
Year of the Drag? Is that what you just
You're
said?
the drag.
Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah, brother, you're the drag. According to
Oh,
Google,
good.
the Year of the Dragon symbolizes power, nobleness, honor, luck, and success. So,
Nice.
I don't know. Do you think those
Yeah, that's why we do
apply
a
to us?
podcast.
That's why I have a podcast of dozens of listeners. Okay.
Oh.
I got to go into my story here. It's nothing about this stupid movie, but
Good. Okay, hit me with it.
when I saw this, now we're in 2 seconds into the movie, right? Where it says year 2132, Year of the Dragon. And
Yeah.
it reminded me right away of my trip to China when I was in college.
Yeah.
And
Was it freshman year?
Freshman year. Yep. So I went in January of 2007, which anecdotally is the year of the crap. 2007. Pig. Year of the pig. And so for some reason I thought that I went in the Year of the Dragon. Honestly, that's what made me think of this story. But as it turns out, I think when I was there, I learned that my birth year was Year of the Dragon. So I just kind of associated 2007 being there as Year of Dragon. That doesn't matter.
Sure.
But I can't remember if I've ever told you the story. It's not a typical day really story, but it is, I think, somewhat of an interesting story. And it takes place in China. So where I went to school, Augustana, every January there was what we call the J term. So it was a semester-long class crammed into the month of January. And a lot of students either elected to do a kind of a abbreviated travel abroad, or they did a semester-long class. And so my freshman year, I did this travel abroad course. I'm air quoting here for the audio listeners, with the symphonic band or the concert band. So we, as a band, went to China and toured, I think, 5 or 6 different cities and performed in these cities as somewhat of a cultural exchange kind of thing. And we met other students at Hubei University, and it was fun. So I spent the month there, and I was there with my friends. It was all good. It was a great trip. Well, towards the end of it, we spent a few days in Shanghai. And while we were there, we had one free day, so we could do whatever we wanted. And we went to the group of friends that I was with. We went to this market, and I can't remember what the market's called now, in case you're wondering. But if you can picture, this is a Chinese kind of vendor market. So they weren't selling any animals or anything, but it was just rows and rows and rows of shops selling just kind of junk, right? So this was towards the end of, like I said, the trip there. And while I was there, I was collecting souvenirs for family members, right? Nothing crazy, but just kind of some fun souvenirs. And I had intended to get a fake Rolex for my brother-in-law, because they were selling them everywhere. And
Yeah.
I was just kind of waiting till I found one. And in most cases, they were the Rolexes that were in a briefcase, right? People just on the street with a briefcase of these fake Rolexes. And
Right.
I would kind of occasionally peek at them, but I don't know. There was no agenda to when I was going to get this. But since it was coming at the end of the trip, we were in this market, and I just kind of arbitrarily decided the next person that approaches me, I'll just buy whatever junky thing is in their thing,
Of
right?
course. Of course.
And so have you heard this story before?
No,
Okay.
I don't think I have.
Okay.
That's why I'm intrigued. That's why I'm laughing.
Okay. So we had been in this market for maybe an hour or so, and we were just wandering around. And then a guy approached me saying, Rolex, do you want to buy a Rolex? And I said, okay, yeah. And what I found interesting was that he didn't have the briefcase with him. And he just had a little laminated card with pictures of the Rolexes. And so I thought, well, okay, this is kind of strange, but I was kind of getting farther and farther, separated farther and farther from my group. I was kind of just kind of lagging back while I was looking at these pictures. And eventually the group was gone and I was by myself with this guy. And I pointed to the one I wanted, and he said, okay. And he pantomimed to follow him. And
Follow me.
I thought, well, okay, I'm already separated from my group, so whatever. And so he brought me to this store, this little shop front, again, because it's just, shops. And this shop was maybe 5 feet wide, 2 feet deep.
Yeah.
And it was full of, I don't know, keychains or something, nothing to do with Rolexes or watches or anything that was on this guy's card. And I, this is getting more and more strange, but I'm at this point 19, right? And I can't emphasize enough how stupid this is.
This sounds stupid.
This is so stupid. I typically don't make these types of decisions, right? But whatever. This is how it happened. When we got to this shop in Shanghai, people I were with, no English. They spoke zero English was communicated at this point. And so we get to this shop, and some other guy is just kind of lounging on the counter. And the man who brought me said something to him, and he turns around, the guy in the shop, or in the little stall thing, he turns around and bangs on the wall behind him. That's, again, covered with keychains and stuff. And a couple seconds later, that wall opens up as a kind of a hidden door into a staircase that goes up, this metal staircase that is really steep and goes up. The guy that brought me just points to this staircase. And I mean, I had a second or two when I thought, don't, right? Just don't.
Just don't.
A fake Rolex? What are you doing this for? For a fake Rolex,
What's
right?
it worth?
So I go up the stairs, and they block the door behind me. And now I walk up these stairs into kind of an open room, and I immediately see about 10, 12 people furiously packing and unpacking boxes full of just stuff. To my right, I see this living room lounge area with a couch and a coffee table, and the coffee table, I'm not kidding, covered in a mountain of cash. And on one wall, there were shelves full of metal suitcases, and they all had watches in them. And the guy that brought me pointed to that wall, and I start looking around, and I find the watch that was pictured in this guy's little laminated sheet, the one that I found, the one that I pointed to that I wanted.
Right.
I found it, and I thought, wow, this is, and so I start checking it out. It's really heavy, and the second hand is continuous, right? Kind of the telltale sign of a Rolex. It was just a smooth second hand.
Yeah.
And this one didn't have any diamonds or anything in it, but it felt heavy, seemed like actual metal, not something that was taken off of an aluminum can. And
Right.
and then the second hand. And so I thought, wait, is this a real Rolex? And why is this a stolen Rolex that's real? And so at that point, this woman approaches me, and she speaks a little bit of English, and she says, you want to buy, very good price, that kind of thing. It was very broken, but understandable. Right. And so I start negotiating with her, and I don't remember the final price, but I eventually bargained her down to essentially $200 for this watch. Okay. And this whole time I'm thinking, do I really want to try and leave this place and leave the country with a stolen Rolex? And so then she's already a little bit ticked off that I got her down that far.
Right.
But then I have the nerve to say, you know what? I don't want it. And she gets fucking pissed. And she says something in Chinese, and all the people that were packing the boxes look up. They stop what they're doing. They look up, and then they come over to us. And the guy that brought me there, he's quietly in the corner of the room, and wasn't taking a part in any of this interaction at all. And so, if this isn't unsettling enough, right? Now there's a dozen Chinese people kind of surrounding me.
Oh my God.
And I just told this person that I don't want what I've seen the place, right? And I said, no, I'm good. I saw their whole operation. I saw the watch, could have gotten it for $200. I'm good. I don't want it. And so she's just yelling at me in Chinese, and I can't understand any of it. And I don't know if you've ever had a scenario in your life where your personality completely changes. But in this situation, I mean, I like to think that I'm a pretty even-keeled guy, right? Nothing really bothers me.
Right.
And, try to be nice to everyone I meet, everyone I know.
Right. Yeah.
But in this case, I barged through this circle of people, got up in the face of the guy that brought me, and started yelling at him, saying, let me the fuck out of this room right now. And he was looking at the woman to see what to do. Mm-hmm. And she said something to him. They opened the door down the stairs. So then I exit through this shop, and I thought, wow, somehow I made it out of there. I, flipped a switch, basically changed everything about my personality, who I was, to get out of that situation.
Right.
In a nonviolent way, right? But in a way that made no mistake about what I felt.
It was your flight or fight.
Yeah, for sure.
You chose to fight.
For sure.
It's like,
and so now I'm in. So the man who brought me there, like, we weaved in and out of this market, right, to get to from where I was with my group to where we were now. And so now, okay, I'm free. I'm out of this store, but now I'm in the middle of this market. I have no idea where my group is, where I am in relation to where I was. Mm-hmm. And I start walking around, and one of the people from that room started following me. And I eventually I just found a Starbucks. And it was kind of one of these weird Western things in a completely Asian surrounding. Right. I found a Starbucks. Right. I just went inside, and the guy that was tailing me didn't follow me in, but I just needed to, take a breath and think about things, because I clearly wasn't doing much thinking prior to this. So it was maybe 5 minutes, And like 5 minutes passed. I see my group walk right in front of the Starbucks. Walked out of the Starbucks. Hey guys, what's up?
Just back to normal.
That was it. Back to normal. Like it didn't happen.
Oh my God.
So
that's insane.
I can't believe that
Could be dead.
it could be dead. And a lot of times I will, well, yeah, I don't know. It's a 100% true story. Everything about that, and I can still picture all of that 15 years later, and yeah, it was nuts.
I mean, wow. Yeah, no, I hadn't heard that story. That's pretty incredible. I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah. So
that's a story to tell people. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's definitely please don't do that. Don't do
PSA.
that. It should be obvious, but don't do that.
Do not leave the group when you're trying to buy things in a foreign country.
Number one, don't leave the group.
Isn't that like Taken?
Pretty much, and like I willingly let myself be taken.
Expensive, you want to share.
Yeah, don't leave your group. Don't follow some guy to a place you don't know. Don't go up a
watch from a briefcase.
Yeah, just buy a watch from a briefcase on the street. Don't go up this creepy staircase to a room that's clearly full of stolen shit. Anyways,
wow.
I thought of this story in part because, or I thought to tell this story not because it's not really funny, right? And it's not a typical day, but my hope was that it will be more interesting than this dumbass movie that we're going to review.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I struggle to even try and talk about what this movie is. I mean, the whole premise of this movie is at the beginning is there's a ship with two guys on it. They're trying to catch the celestial garden dragon called Tianlong, and one gets destroyed. The ship gets destroyed. The guy gets killed. I think they both get killed, actually. The whole ship gets destroyed and everything.
Yeah.
And you see the thing move into this thing called white space, and it like zaps and goes away. And it fast forward like 24 years later, and it's somebody that's got a camera on their helmet kind of spying on this group, and it turns out to be this captain, Captain Bentley, Richard Bentley, that's looking for coordinates to where the Tianlong was last seen. And then there's a kind of like a fight in a Chinese restaurant, and then it jumps 3 months, and then this girl is some like police officer, and she thinks white space is going to cure her, so she's going to get on the ship with this captain, and they're going for a hunt to find this thing. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. So there was one interesting piece of dialogue in that, kind of in the middle of the scenes that you were talking about here. I think when he's in the Chinese restaurant getting this map, this coordinates.
Yeah.
The captain says, "I don't seek white space." The next line, I swear to God, the next line he says, he'll guide us straight into white space. Because this white space is this, I don't know, it's basically, I don't know, the afterlife, but you're still alive or something, and this space dragon is the pathway to get there.
Well, yeah, it's like a black, I mean, it's a white hole, but black hole that it goes through, and then it goes to like different, I don't know if it's dimensions or if it's time, or then nothing, it's never explained anything about it.
All it says is that in a voiceover, it says those in white space are cleansed of impurities and something else. I guess I stopped typing at that point.
But it's I mean,
there was a bunch of other stuff it said. I just stopped.
Oh, that's great, Jad. Thank you.
But that's it, though. That's all the information. I mean, there's maybe a couple more words, but that's all the information. Is those? I mean, it sounds like you're
But
dead, right?
You can't get through white space unless you
Unless you
are
get
on a
owned by
10
that
longer.
dragon, right? Unless you
Yeah.
get just annihilated by that dragon. So, and then there's some very
Gosh.
confusing stuff here because the captain says, isn't his ship called the Essex?
Yes, it's called the Essex.
Okay.
And it's a old Russian harpooner ship, is how he describes it. And his name's it's Captain Richard Bentley, and he has, like, everyone has normal desks, but he has one of those roll-up desks.
Yeah.
And he has a katana on the wall.
Katana.
And like katana, sorry.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I just none of it makes sense.
Okay.
I don't.
We're going to jump around here because it really doesn't matter. But at some point, so as Spenny was saying, he's motivated by revenge. All he wants is to kill this dragon. He doesn't care about white space.
That's his whole life.
Yeah.
It sounds like. He doesn't care about anything else.
And there are scenes in which he's playing this hologram recording thing of what I guess is his dad, him as a teenager, and then his younger brother, the captain's younger brother as a kid.
Yeah.
And this flashback, though, the person that portrays the dad isn't he really, really young? It looks like he's also a teenager or something, right?
He's not very old.
I was really confused by that. And he plays these recordings, these ship logs from his dad's ship who got destroyed by this dragon thing. And again, it's a teenager.
Yeah.
In these recordings. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't make any sense in it's only been 24 years. But the main character is trying to play somebody that's like in their late 30s, and he's like 50 or something, and it just doesn't. And none of it adds up. At
some point during this flashback of the dad, the captain as a teenager, and then the kid brother. Yeah. The dad, they're fishing or something. I don't know. They're sitting on a
fishing on a
riverbank or something. Yeah, I don't know. River. And keep in mind, this is the year 2100, I guess, or something at this point. And the dad gives the kid, who's the captain, he says something like, "Oh, you want your gift?" It's super casual. "Oh, you want your present or something?" And he hands him this old-timey swashbuckling pirate sword thing. and so what? Why? And then that comes into the movie again later because I don't know. Should we just get to the part where there's an infection or something? I guess.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
One thing.
Okay.
One thing. So there's a character on the ship whose name is Stubbs. Okay.
Yeah.
He's the engineer guy. He's got big glasses. He looks like Bubbles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So the guy that plays this Stubbs, he looked familiar, and I looked him up to make sure. Did you ever watch Scary Movie? It's like the make fun of Scream.
I can't say that I have, actually. Okay.
So there's a character in that movie named Doofy. And Doofy is like he has mental issues. He's slow, and he plays this weird character, and he's like supposed to be this, like, I don't know, officer for the school. But there's a scene where in this movie he has a vacuum, and he uses it to,
okay,
do things to himself.
All right.
And so all I can think about in this whole scene is that Doofy is here, the engineer. And I'm surprised there wasn't some sort of like space vacuum that he was utilizing when he was on this thing. It's so weird.
That movie came out 20 years ago or something, didn't it?
Yeah, it was 1999. Yeah.
So how old is this guy in this movie? He must be 50 or
45? I don't
60 or
know.
something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I just couldn't believe that this guy was, I mean, playing the same similar weird character, but
all right. So, okay, the other part of this movie is that they are this quote fishing vessel or something.
yep.
Because I guess in 2132 there's no food on the planet, so to eat, humans have to go out in space and find giant space ticks. They're literally bugs that look like ticks,
Crabs,
but
crab
are
ticks, yeah.
the size of gigantic boulders.
Yep.
And that's the only source of food for humans, to go out millions of light years away, find some stupid fucking ticks, and bring them back. And these, they just chill in space, right? They chill around in asteroid belts and whatnot, and then they bring them back. But there's this other space-born thing called a parasite, which is it's a bug, but it's some type of parasitic bug, insect type thing that comes from space that I guess can contaminate some of their food.
Crazy bug or something. Is that the one that gets into humans?
Yeah, it probably has some stupid name like that. Crazy bug.
Yeah,
Why not, right?
Anyways. Yep.
So at one point they're I don't know, they're out fishing for dumbass tick bug shit, and one of the Stubbs gets infected by a parasite somehow. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So then he goes on this murderous rampage.
Well, the budget was so low that Stubbs just vanishes for 25 minutes in the movie. He's literally gone. All of a sudden, you see him get infected. He goes into the shower to try to clean himself off, and then you don't see Stubbs for like 25 minutes in the film.
Yeah,
and like a lot of time has gone by. There's so many elements with the crew that doesn't make sense. So it's a small crew. Was there eight crew members?
I think so, yeah.
And there is this guy named Harpo who is dating the chef. Her name's Batali, and he just happens to be hooking up with the pilot as well. And
yeah, the only two women on board, he's sleeping with both of them. And the cook is super possessive of it too.
Right. They point out multiple times that she's like very possessive and like, don't mess with her.
Yeah,
she'll mess you up.
Because at some point
it just was like it's kind of this adolescent view of like, I don't know, the women. I don't know. Just
for sure.
Didn't make any sense.
It's so dumb. And then some pirates come and they take their food. They take their Cheerios. Literally, they take their cereal.
Yeah, that's what they had,
and that's it. And then their space ticks, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but then it was
the
confusing.
refrigerator on this. The refrigerator on the ship is also a escape pod.
Yeah,
right?
Or cryo chamber, right?
Their cryo chamber.
Yeah. So let's run through this. They go out to get some space ticks. Okay.
Yep.
The captain secretly has this map to find where the dragon has been spotted. Right? And he purposely takes this ship out to a tick farm area in a region known to have dragon sightings.
Yep.
Following along so far? This is all in space. This is in space. They get some ticks, and I don't know, something happens to some of them. I don't know. Some pirates show up, take the ticks, and take all their cereal. And I'm not kidding. They have scenes of them taking their cereal. The captain...
Luckily, they didn't take the pot, the one pot they have.
Right. The captain ditches their transponder beacon into the cargo where the ticks are, so that when the pirates take that, they can no longer find track their ship. Right.
Yeah.
Little does the captain know that the pirates put their own beacon on the ship. So they can track them anywhere across galaxies, right?
I mean,
basically,
the reason the pirates showed up is this girl named Navarro, who she's like the cop. She sends out one message and all of a sudden, the
Oh, it gets
pirates get 'em.
intercepted. Yeah, it gets intercepted. Yeah. So then there's this spy that is some dragon police or something. I don't know. She's there to police the dragons or something.
She's supposed to save the dragons.
Yeah, no one can kill them, right? They're an endangered species somehow. And yet every attempt to kill them, everyone dies, right? So somehow these two things are true, and unrelated. And then there's a secret human police task force to protect the dragons from humans who can't kill them. So she's on the ship in disguise as something loose. Right? There's her cover story is non-existent, and then
she comes on as like to be checking on. I think she's supposed to be like one of those people that's supposed to just check to make sure they're doing things properly. But for some whatever reason, she's like totally. It's like she's very discreet on everything. But then all of a sudden, she's still wearing her badge, like under her clothes. Like, why?
Yeah, the pirates come and they find her.
Blows
and
it.
The pirate immediately pulls
cleavage.
her badge out, and they're like, "What? Kill her then. See if I care."
Yeah.
So okay, while this is happening, Stubbs has already been infected, right? Or I think it doesn't matter. So then he starts on this rampage of killing everyone.
Yep.
And
goes crazy. See, crazy bug.
And while that's happening, there's like Spenny said, there's only 8 people on the ship, right? And people start dying. And the captain is only concerned about when the dragon's going to come back. And so
that's all he cares about.
He finds a sighting, goes to it, and then the pirates show back up. And then there's this space battle where the pilot has to go under manual control.
Yep.
Which she's controlling with her little digital, interface the entire time to fly the ship. But something happens and she has to go down into the belly of the ship to do some more analog flying, right?
Yeah.
A part of the ship where there's no windows, there's no screen. Right. She's looking at a black box flying this ship manually, right? And it's really intense. She's getting all sweaty and stuff, and whatever. They get out of it. The pirates die, or who cares? And the captain says, "Nice work. Go hit the showers. I'll take over here."
I'll take over from here.
The captain at this point is now aware that Stubbs is killing everyone. And he tells the pilot to go just take a shower. It's fine. I got this.
It doesn't make any sense, man. She
goes to take a shower and dies, obviously. And
that's when Stubbs starts killing people.
And
Stubbs. That's the first one Stubbs kills.
Are you? Oh, really?
Yeah, because he kills her. He stabs her, and then he stabs Batali, and then he stabs.
Okay. I guess I had that confused then. In some,
it doesn't matter.
I think I was thinking it was so bad that it was all happening at the same time. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Maybe.
But we're getting to the point where the sword comes back into play, right? That throughout this little section of the movie, ever since she was discovered as this dragon cop, the captain put her into, she confined her to quarters or something. She's been trying to break out. Well, now that Stubbs is killing everyone, she's apparently the only person that can kill him or stop him. Yeah. And what does he do?
She's a police officer.
He gives her that stupid sword from the 1700s and says, "Ever seen one of these?" You know how in crappy action movies a guy hands someone a gun. Ever shot a gun? Yeah. And it's basically the same thing. Ever seen one of these? And she does this stupid little
right,
like she's trained in 17th century swashbuckling swords, right? and then the captain just lets her go, kill Stubbs, and he's gonna go fly or something. I don't know. And so,
Well, yeah, I mean,
and then, so I guess while this is happening, then the dragon shows up and they're trying to harpoon him, right?
yeah, the Owen is the brother of the captain, gets out, and he's trying to hotshot his way through this, and he just, you know, they make us, there's a story about him earlier in the show that, you know, he was really good at a pilot, but sometimes he just loses it, you know, he loses his edge. And he was just hot shotting out there, and then all of a sudden he, you know, the thing just smashes him and rips him apart.
What doesn't
I mean,
what makes even less sense about him is that once he realizes that his brother took the crew out just to try and find the dragon.
yeah.
See, the brother doesn't want this revenge, right? The brother is cool about just letting it go, letting their dad go.
Yeah.
And actively tries to convince his brother, the captain, to turn around, go back home, because the pirates already took all their cereal and they don't have any profits.
Let's go back.
And just let's just
They're
go
running
back.
out of oxygen.
Oh yeah, because one of the guys, yeah, because then the Batali was pregnant, and so then the guy that got her pregnant said, "Bruh, we got to get out of here." So then he just sabotages the oxygen, and so they're just actively running out of air, and says, "Yo, we're running out of air. We got to go back. We're running out of air."
Go back.
And then the pirates show back up, and they're like, "Bro, the air's gone." And then the pirates are gone, and then the dragon shows up, and like, "Bruh, the air's almost out." And then he just starts killing the first.
That was like the main theme.
Yeah, and then he just decides, okay, well, the air is about to go out, so I better start killing the captain and the other guy. And so Stubbs is killing people. The other guy is killing people because of the air, because he wants to go back. And then the brother says, for practical reasons, this doesn't matter. No one's ever killed this stupid dragon. Let's go home. Let's just drop it. And then what does he do? He goes out to try and kill the dragon by himself in a suit.
Yeah, but his backup is some old stooge here who just constantly is drinking booze. Like, how much booze does this guy have? Like,
and that cigar, right?
Yeah, just a big cigar. It was just like, we need a Tolkien old guy for the show, so let's just get this guy, and he just drinks booze all day, and then he jumps into a BattleBot suit and plays backup.
The only weapon they have,
formation.
The only weapon they have to kill this dragon, by the way, can summon portals to another dimension, right, at will. Right. And is as large as the ship itself. Right. And their one weapon that they bring out to there is a fucking space harpoon. It's just a hook that they shoot and miss every single time. Except once at the very end, they hook the thing and it goes straight and just blows the ship up in half. It just plows through the ship. And this is the point where Spenny and I were saying where it just kind of ends. Well, they're all dying one by one, either by Stubbs or the other guy, right?
Yeah.
And then the captain's out there and he says repeatedly things like, "This is it. Oh, I got you now. We're going to dance. Just you," and stuff like that, just right? And then he's dead. Yeah. And then the ship blows up. And then the spy crawls into the refrigerator and then they go through white space, and then she gets jettisoned out and the movie's over. At no point do they talk about what white space is, what beyond white space is. They didn't even, beyond white space, what does that mean? The movie just ends.
That's it. That's it. I can't stress it enough. Like this, it just ends, and it is so painful.
This is, I think, the dumbest movie I've ever seen, and this is including. At least Battlefield Earth had some semblance of a plot,
humor. Right? At least there was something to laugh at.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What makes it worse is they spent so much time making it look good that they totally forgot about like how to make a movie. Like you have to have something that's like entertaining. Like there wasn't even a joke in this thing. It
No.
was just like this. It was like a drama. It was like a. I don't even know how to describe it. Just never watch it.
The thing is, I mean, I've never read Moby Dick, right? Obviously, it's a classic, right? And it's about
Right.
chasing something that you can't ever have any reasonable expectation of achieving, right? I think, I don't know. That's just kind of the gist I've gotten it from hearing about it. But so I don't know how that resolves in the book. But in this movie,
Has to be better than this.
This movie, the captain goes out. The captain's final moment is him out in a spacesuit, with no weapons.
Yep.
Actively saying that I got you now, you're dead, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
To this gigantic space creature, and then he's just dead.
Yeah, he's just dead.
And
the old guy is just sitting there watching it.
Yeah, there was no moment in which, like, the captain thought, oh, shit, I messed up. Or having actually achieved what he set out to achieve. No, his entire family's dead, and then he just dies.
That's it.
His ship gets blown up. Everyone he knew was also dead because of his actions. Their Cheerios are gone because of the pirates.
Cheerios are gone. Cheerios are gone. Their bugs are gone. Their crabs are gone.
I just don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean I'm at a loss for words. I took a lot of notes and then I read through them, and I said, "This is not worth even repeating." It's so stupid. I mean, the ending is the thing literally destroys the ship. Navarro jumps in the freezer. She shoots through and somehow gets to go through white space, and that's it.
I guess she was the one that was worthy. I guess, but you don't see if she's benefited in any way from white space.
Nope.
So
I mean, they spent at the ending scene, like they spent a lot of time making the bourbon bottle floating around look really cool. Like they spent way too much time on that thing because it was like the best looking visual effect of the whole fucking show.
Yeah, just kind of the sloshing, right? In zero G.
Yeah. Brother.
Well,
I guess you can guess what the score is on this one.
Yeah,
Unless you have something that surprises me.
No, and I mean this comes off the heels of episode 11, Starship Troopers 2, where you chewed me out for my scoring system. And I got to start off the bat, like, this is my fourth Ascension that I'm going to give out.
Yeah, which one? Is this a hard or a soft?
This is a hard Ascension. Or this is a rounded down Ascension. No, this would be rounded up to an Ascension. That's worse.
Okay.
Easy Ascension. This is equally as bad as Battlefield Earth in my mind. For different reasons, but
I really tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, and that's why I did all that research looking about what they were doing to make this work, because I saw how small the crew was, and I was like, well, that's kind of interesting, but I was like, who gives a shit? It was so bad. It's so bad. Like,
it's so bad.
I can't even find the words to describe it. Like, I just have to keep saying how bad it is.
Uh-oh.
It's just, good Lord.
Well, I'm curious what you're going to give it then. Because you're
Ascension.
all about... Okay, nice.
It's an Ascension. Yeah. There's nothing else I can give it. Like, it was painful to watch. I would never watch it again. Like, after the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is... it took me like 3 sittings to watch it. So...
Oh, man.
It's terrible. There's just no redeeming qualities on it.
No, absolutely nothing.
It was one of those just basic spaceship movies where like they're hunting for something. Like that was it. Like how many times have they done a movie like that?
Well, holy cow.
I really tried, I know. they tried to make it look. I mean, it looked better than Battlefield Earth, but the story was horrible. So, anyways, yeah. Gosh.
Okay.
Do you have something that's going to be better next week?
Well, I'm gonna turn the tables on you and do something similar to me. What you to you what you did to me.
The decade thing, or whatever I did.
It's gonna be something similar.
Okay.
So if the listeners can remember, the episode prior to, let's see. Well, it would have been Alien, right? Because I chose from the 70s.
No, you chose Alien, so it was
because it was from the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gave me four. You gave me four things, years to choose from, right? I'm going to give you. So I watched 4 trailers, and luckily these 4 trailers happen to have that classic voiceover guy. In a world. Okay. So what I'm going to do for you, these all come from different decades as well.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do for you is give you what I think was the best line from each voiceover. And then you're going to choose that, and I'll reveal what the movie is. Okay. I won't tell you what year it's from until the end.
Okay. Awesome.
I'll try and make each as compelling as the next. Okay. First one. It begins where imagination ends. Okay. This next one is paraphrased. It's not
the exact. Okay.
It's not the exact, but it's 2 components from the same thing. I didn't change anything. It's just the order.
Got it.
Okay. From a distant galaxy, they have come to Earth. Live the adventure. Okay. Option 3. You can go there even though it doesn't exist. And number 4.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I swear to God, these are all real. I'm not changing any of this.
You can go there even though it doesn't exist.
Okay, number 4. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the universe. Do you want to recap? It begins where imagination ends. From a distant galaxy, they have come to Earth. Live the adventure. You can go there even though it doesn't exist. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the universe.
I want to know the third one.
You can go there even though it doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Okay. I had never heard of this thing before. It's from 1999.
Okay.
And it's something called The 13th Floor. It's available on HBO.
Interesting.
So
The 13th Floor.
Yep.
It's sci-fi?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of spoil something and say it's kind of just a cheap Matrix, as it turns out.
Interesting.
Almost identical, from what I can tell.
All right.
Do you want to know what other options there were, or should we save those for other?
No, save them. Save them. I've saved my other ones up for you, so
okay.
Maybe I'll do that next week. Oh,
I was kind of hoping you were. Well, I don't know. They were all pretty good. So they're pretty good options. So
this one looks like a thriller, so I'm excited. It'd probably be terrible.
Yeah, and no promises, right? I've never seen these. So.
All right. Cool.
Well, I hope this was somewhat entertaining, folks.
Yeah. It. Who knows? I mean, unfortunately, this one was just one of those.
This was a total turd. Total turd burglar.
Total turd. Kind of unexpected too. I just thought it would be better than it was, but No, it was.
Yeah, I didn't have high expectations, but this vastly underperformed what already
Yeah.
low expectations I had.
I'll be honest. I watched the trailer after I talked about it, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't look too bad. No, I'd watch that." And it was not good.
Save
Anyways,
yourselves, folks. Don't.
Save yourselves. Don't watch that one. That was terrible.
Yep.
That was real bad. Well, okay. Next week, the 13th floor. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it's a long one.
Oh, is it really?
Well, no, it's not. It's an hour 40. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in. If you want to reach out to us, you know the drill. Bois at Ascension to10.com. Spenny does a lot of work on our socials, Instas.
Yep.
Facebooks.
Instas, Facebook, Twitter. Now we have YouTubes.
Right? Yep.
Cool. And we're just working on getting those videos up.
Yeah, hopefully by the time you hear this, everything will be caught up. And yeah, check out Bryan on the socials. Links, as always, to everything in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
No, I think that's it for now.
All right.
He's JAD. I'm Spenny.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See ya.